Hello, everyone, and welcome in another one English podcast on my channel. Today's guest is one of the most excited this year for me, just because we are chatting quite a bit on Instagram for a long time, but we never actually met and we never actually spoke on live, like never before. So I for the first time, to be honest, I heard your English. Of course, our guest is a man who name I just cannot pronounce, to be honest. I've always said you Vojtali,
Vojta, just Vojta.
Vojta. Okay, because
Yeah,
you are from Czech.
yeah, Czech Republic original.
Okay, so can you tell us the name and surname fully?
First of all, hello everyone, and thank you. You invite me into your podcast. And my whole name is Wojciech Trnka, and you can call me Vojta as everyone do.
Oh, okay, so Wojciech.
Yeah, Wojciech. Yeah.
Okay, so Vojty, you're the one of the freakiest amateur bodybuilding on the planet Earth, and that's for sure. And everyone who's gonna disagree with that statement is gonna be on my list because I am a fan of your physique a big time, to be honest. And you know that because we are chatting quite a bit, like I said before, but you're struggling to get the card, and I don't fucking know why.
Me too, but because maybe of my back issues, the judges still need for me to more them develop more, and maybe when they will be bigger, it will be good enough for them, and we will see they get me my pro card.
Man, maybe you're just choosing the wrong shows just because some of the judges are actually looking for certain things. They are thrown back for certain things. You've got I don't know if you wanted to talk about it, but you probably know that you have like a small gyno that's it's a little bit visible.
Yeah,
Something
something
went
went wrong
wrong.
there. Sorry.
Okay, that's not a problem. I'm gonna cut it off. Yeah, and maybe this is the problem because I have the same problem actually, and I have that feedback, and I've removed my gyno like last year. And for first of all, for every bodybuilder, even if it's not visible, I recommend it to do that just because it's helps a lot when it comes to the aromatization. I don't know why. I don't know how it works, but it's seriously, you need a less AI for sure after the surgery. But this is this is actually the only things that I think might play a role, just because otherwise you're basically perfect. Okay, your back is maybe not pro level yet, but there's a maybe a handful of guys who can win the card and says that they are basically perfect. So that cannot be the reason.
Yeah, but I actually agree. I've on my list my gyno surgery early next year, maybe January, February. It's absolutely on the list, and I will do it. And I think after when I will remove it, it will be good enough. So we will see. But I actually know about it, and we are planning my surgery now, and I hope everything goes well, and we'll see.
Yeah, man. Tell me about your last show because when you sent me the pics, I thought you looked freaking amazing. And then you just told me that you've basically starving yourself and not eat a single carb from I don't know how long, but that was something that shoot me so hard. I thought that you are loaded as fuck and you are flat,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. I sent you. I think it was after my first 10. In the Saturday morning. As I promised, I send you some sneak peek, and because we are catching the weight, up to 102 kilograms, and there I have not much time to fill my muscle in, load my muscle in with carbs. So I little bit carbing up during night, and don't sleep much. But morning was still flat, but evening on the show was quite okay, I guess. It will be full enough for me. But me and my coach, we decided not to do 102 kilograms again next season, and just carving it up like for 3-4 days before, to make the really good fullness and hardness for me. It depends if I will have 105 kilogram, 103, but we need to keep my fullness in the muscles, because one day of carving up for me is not good enough, and it's not good. I need to carving up like for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, man, your muscle bellies are so round that I'm even struggle to believe that you can make weight when it comes to the 102 kilo, because I am 102 kilo. I was 102 kilos on my last show, and I look like half of your size bodybuilder. So, man, your
I
physique is.
disagree.
No man, no man, because you're a kind of guy like Phil or like Martin, that you are look a lot bigger than you are, and that's your strong point. So I don't think that you are really need to put a lot of size, maybe on your back, but the weight is irrelevant when it comes to you. I think that if you go fuller and more rested, like you said, carving up from 3 to 4 days, that will be the perfect scenario for you.
Yeah. And it's good for my stomach as well, because I think 2-3 days of loading with carbs, and I think it will be necessary. It will be about 500 to 1,000 grams of carbs, but just slowing to fill in the muscle, because on this show, on my last show, it was Prague, I ate about 1,000 grams of carbs, and in this short period for me, it was not good for my stomach, because afternoon on the show I have some small stomach issues, and it was for me, it was really hard to control my midsection.
Yeah.
So maybe when we choose the 2-3 days of carving up, it will be better for my digestion, and it will be much better.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Okay, Vojta. So let's talk about like briefly about you in general, just because not
Yeah.
many people know about you that much, especially here in Poland. And if I be able to, I'm gonna translate all this podcast into a Polish for those who cannot speak like frequently and like good in English, let's say like that. Okay, so first of all, how tall are you?
I'm 172 centimeter.
Okay, so you are 2 centimeters taller than me.
Yeah.
Man, that's oh my God. Okay, so how old are you?
I'm 31 years old.
31. 1 year more than me. That's that's good for me. I have the time. Okay, and that's gonna be a shocking one for probably a lot of people. But what are your job on a daily basis?
My job now is police officer.
Yes. Uh, This is why I wanted to bring it, because there's a lot of guys who are just personal trainers and stuff like that, and they are says that they are struggling with bodybuilding and stuff like that. And you are a police officer, like a Ronnie Coleman back in the days. So you are like the real tough guy on a mission.
I do actual personal personal trainings as well, but my main job is police officer.
Okay, let's tell us when do you start training actually? Because you're 31 years old, so you probably working out for quite some time. But when was the time that you put your steps like a foot for the first time at the gym?
At the gym. I think it was on high school with my really good friend. You know, he started working out in a gym and just need to some sparring, some guy who will do this thing with him and just tell me, hey man, come to the gym with me. And that was my first time in gym. You know, but when I truly start do bodybuilding, it was 2015, you know, when with my first coach, he I think he was preparing on some men's physics show in America, you know, and I watching him and just we just spoke each other, and I was really interested in because you know, as a young guy, I read a lot of muscle and fitness and some fitness magazines, and now I finally see someone who really do it. So I was really interested in, and he just told me, hey man, just let's prepare you for next season. And in 2015, in January, start my first prep, you know, and after 6 months, I win our nationals in juniors here. And this was my really first start in bodybuilding, and I started like full time because I love it.
Okay, do you remember when you started for the first time? When do you actually get the ideas for how the diet should looks like, how the training should looks like, just before you have a coach? Just because most of the guys are actually either do it like we are doing like a chest and biceps all day and not doing legs at the beginning and stuff like that, eating like dinners in at home and maybe drink some protein shake or something like that. But there's a guys who are actually started like a proper way because they are found about, I don't know, uh, like Norton or something like that, and they are just stealing the knowledge from the day one. What was your history?
Yeah, I think it was when I start my first prep because before as everyone I just do as you said, like bicep and chest and some really basic training, you know, because I was something on the internet, you know, and after this with my first coach, they give me my first workout plan, my first meal plan, so it started to make real, you know, and that was my really start because before it was like really random trainings and you know just pump it up, and that was not much order in it, you know. But with my first coach, he gave me the order into my trainings and meal plans, and just starting to make the prep really.
Do you remember what was your weight when you started?
I think it was about 77 kilograms.
So you are rather like a skinny guy, yes?
Yeah, I was really small and skinny.
Okay, do you remember your first diet, how it looks like? Because I imagine right now it's probably something different, maybe some more variety in your diet and stuff like that. But back in the days, especially those OG coaches are was mostly the like very hardcore basic, like eating maybe chicken, broccoli, and maybe some olive oil with cottage cheese at night or something like that. What was your diet looks like?
I think I really don't remember as much as I want because it's a long time ago. But I have a really basic diet like chicken and rice and white fish all the time, you know. And I I think nowadays sometimes I get some refeeds or cheat meals or something like that. But in my first prep, I didn't have anything like this. You know, it was like all strict. You know, meals and meals, and we are uh, getting the meal plan real. You know, without cheat meals and something like that.
Okay, so this is your history, and most of the people are actually started in a similar way, either eating a little bit cleaner or maybe a little bit dirtier, but most of the guys are doing basically the same. But then after sometimes you realize that you have some sort of potential and you're starting to adjust everything to your own needs. So tell me about your current diet, how it looks like in the off season, for example. And are you a guy who needs to eat a lot? Or are you a carb guy? Are you a more fat guy? And this is very important, how high your protein is.
Yeah, I think almost both prep diet or off season, I have almost the similar amount of proteins, and it's about 300 to 350 grams. You know,
How do you count them? Do you count the 300 grams only from the protein sources? So only from the meats or using some sort of application like MyFitnessPal?
we have a check application like this, but you know, I've trainer and I've 7 meals in a day, and I know exactly what I have to eat in every meal. You know,
Can you tell us your meal plan for now?
yeah, I can. Just I need to look. I can't remember
Okay,
exactly. I try to find it. I hope
great.
you're seeing me, and I have it here.
Yeah, that will be help a lot because most of the guys are counting difference. For example, they are counting sources of protein cooked or raw. And I would really love to get some ideas for people.
Yeah.
How much do you need to eat?
When I have my trainers before, they just give me macros, and I count it like in a raw measure, you know. And now time, for example, I have training days and non-training days, you know. And in a training day, I have meal one, which is my breakfast now. So I have four whole eggs, 100 milliliters of egg whites, 60 gram of oats, 550 grams of bread, 400 milliliters of rice milk, which is really nice for me because I like it, and 100 grams of frozen fruits like blueberries or some forest fruit, something like that. You know, so that's my breakfast now, for example, you know, after show. Then I have my second meal, which is only 200 grams of chicken and 80 grams of rice. My pre-workout meal is 250 grams of white fish, 80 grams of rice, and 30 grams of dates. You know, then I have some pre-workout, intra-workout, my post-workout shake, and in my post-workout during off season, for example, I because there were a lot of food which I need to eat, so I get 100 grams of cyclodextrin and 60 gram of isolate. But now I have 80 grams of rice mesh, 20 grams of glutamine, 50 grams of isolate, and 30 grams of dates. So it's my post-workout meal, you know. And after this, I have similar like my pre-workout meal because of digestion, 250 grams of white fish and 80 grams of rice. After this, I have two more meals. The first one is 200 grams of chicken, 60 grams of rice, and 75 grams of avocado. And then my last meal of the day, of the training day, is 200 grams of white fish, 60 grams of rice, and 10 milliliters of macadamia nut oil.
Oh, okay. So you're actually a pretty balanced diet. You have quite a lot of carbs and not so little of fats. So actually, quite a lot of fats.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a specific reason for that? For example, you feeling better on higher fats, or for example, this is for uh, like a less dense meals because like you don't want to push a lot of foods to not bring your waist up or something like that.
Yeah, after show, I like we are using it like this because we are not pushing the food too hard, because of we just slowly adding in, after show. So the fats keeping my fullness, and I feel really better. In off season I have more carbs, less fats, and sometimes as everybody will know, in the end of off season it's really quite hard to eat much carbs, in your meals.
Okay.
So we are just slowly adding carbs and decreasing fats and starting off season.
Okay, so let me tell about the cheat meals. Do you have any in your plans, or do you don't like to do them, or your coach allowed for it, or not allowed for the cheat meals?
Sometimes, during diet, it's about every 14 days. It depends how the shape looks,
Yeah.
In the off season it's a little bit similar, but for me, for example, in the off season it's much because just keep my head fresh and just take a rest from the regular meals, because in off season I have really a lot of food and the cheat meals are not that much necessary, but it's because just to take a rest from the regular food. But for example, in the off season, when I have if I have a cheat meal, I have to eat like the last meal of the day, because when I if I eat it in the middle of the day, it really make me full, and I'm not able to eat my rest meals, from a plan. So I need to eat it like very last meal of the day, when I
So
cheat meal in off season.
if when you are eating a cheat meal, is there a specific one you like the best?
Oof, it depends, but I'm the guy.
What?
I'm the burger guy. So
Oh,
it's usually burger or sushi, you know.
you've got a restaurant called Lazy something. Like a restaurants that have a lot of brass hanging on the walls and stuff like that. Lazy Sailors or something like that.
Uh,
I
I
don't
think
really.
we don't.
Yeah, you have it. My wife was eating out there after the show. I don't remember the name of the restaurants, but she says that the burger was amazing. So this is probably why, because you've got the good burgers out there. So maybe this is the reason you're liking them so much.
Yeah, maybe. We have actually really a lot of really good burger restaurants here in Prague, but usually we're doing. Visiting my favorite in the middle of the Prague, which is called Burger Man.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna remember it for the next year if I am gonna be allowed to eat one, and maybe we have met there and eat some foods together after we hit the legs or something like
Yeah, it will be
that.
Yeah,
That would be great. And tell me about the cardio in the off season. Are you do any?
yeah, I do. So usually about 20 or 30 minutes in the morning, fasted, or after training because of my work time schedule. So sometimes I can't do it in the morning because of my job. I need to be early in, but after workout, usually in off season, I do 20 minutes of bike or walk or something like that.
Okay, like 6 to 7 times a day, a week, or
Yeah, exactly.
okay, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I think that cardio in the off season are actually is the greatest tool that you can utilize for your digestion, for your insulin sensitivity and stuff like that, and overall well-being, to be honest, and your fitness, because you definitely need that for example, like a harder sets on leg press and stuff like that. So it's definitely helps. Man, so tell me please, how is your training looking like right now? Are you uh like a Dorian Yates style of guy, like a English school, like a top back off sets, or you're more volume guy, or maybe some like a mixed way? Because I know that some people, for example, Ronnie Coleman, are basically doing both the intensity and the frequency and the volume. So how's your training looking like?
Yeah, I'm not as much strong as I think, but I'm usually like the more Dorian Yates style. Not I'm not much the rep guy, but I think in my training it's actually a mix of both. In some exercises, the basic exercises, I have less volume, more weights, and when the workout's going to the end, to the finish, there are more reps and less weights, just to make the blood go through the muscles and just for the pump, you know. So my training is actually a mix of both, weights and reps.
Do you like to use some sort of intensifiers like a drop set, rest pause, and stuff like that?
Yeah, we are using it. Last 2 years, we are using it quite a lot. We do a lot of rest pause, a lot of drop sets, like 2, 3 drops, for example. And I really like cluster sets,
Yeah, cluster sets, they're the
because
one.
it's a really heavy set, and you actually do a lot of reps in it. So it was really good for my strength during the exercise.
So tell me, what's your training schedule looking like before and for now? Because you're probably gonna to try to focus a little bit more on your back this off season. So you probably have the new training plan from your coach. So we'll be really glad if you can share it with us.
Yeah, I have a regular back day, and because we need to develop my back, I have one more training with 3 back exercise and shoulders together, you know. So I have 2 back days in a week actually. One full one just with 3 exercises. Then I have my chest day with arms and legs.
Okay. So it's, for example, 2 days on, 1 day off, or
Yeah, exactly.
okay,
Two or
okay,
one. you know
okay.
and now because of it, I'm just 1 week after show. It was just this week was just quite resting, just enjoying the gym, and just no schedule, just pumping up,
Yeah.
every bodybuilder after show know these trainings. I really love it, but it's really hard because you just watch the dumbbell, and it's pumping it just by you see it, so sometimes it really hurts.
Yeah.
But it's feel amazing. So this week was just for the regeneration, just small pumps in the gym, and from next week we are starting the new training program, new schedule, and we are need to improve my back more.
Great. Tell me, what do you eat after the show? Because you told me about the pump and the pump after the food, the post-show food is always the most incredible feeling you can have, especially after you're preparing for so long and you're in a contest prep, and at the end of the contest prep every workout is basically rather shitty. Even if you are uh, semi loaded from your carb ups or something like that, you basically feel no pressure on your muscle, no pump, and it's basically just getting through the workout. So after you eat something post show, it's always the best pump. So what do you eat post show?
Yeah, I get some muffins, some a little bit chocolate, but for me, I'm more. I like eat more some salty things because when I eat quick carbs, it's really blowing my stomach up. So I can't eat sweets too much after show. But it was some pizza, some burger, and a little bit of sweets as usual. And uh, that's quite funny because when you are loading up, you are hungry, and after this, when you are dropping your water out, I'm every time I just thirsty, So the first thing which I want after my show is just drink cold water, you know. You know.
I've always craved a beer after
Yeah, and
but you know what? I've always craved a beer. Then we go to the grocery shop or something like that, and I bought always buy a beer, and I never drink it. Or I drink like a one sip and no, okay. And I just threw it up. It's just always this after the Romania show, I bought like a three beers, hoping that I'm gonna drink it, and I
Mhm.
leave it all three. I drink one, no alcohol, because I don't like to buy those alcohol ones because for me it's just for the taste, so never mind.
Yeah.
And I don't like the alcohol. So we ate like a sandwich on the like a bar or something like that post show, and I drink a small no alcohol beer, and that was enough for me. But I've buy three more and threw it up. Yeah, so you're not a foodie guy, to be honest.
Not much, yeah. Actually, after show, I've some meal which I want, like is burger or pizza or something like that, and I usually just hop in my meal plan, just regular chicken, rice, fish, and something like that. And after show, sometimes I get during day some cheat meal. But I'm not the guy who get up after morning after show and just eating everything he has in home and go to a restaurant and eat a lot of burgers, pizzas, something like that. I have some cheat meals, as we can call it, in a week, and just eat the regular food like during all time.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm basically the same. I don't get me wrong, I love to eat post show, but and I never restrict myself. I've always eat whatever I wanted to. But the point is, I am not wanted to eat that much, to be honest. I like to feel good. So
Yeah,
the
exactly.
most of the times I eat something sweet. I eat something like salty, so like maybe burger or something like that, or like a sandwich because I love sandwiches.
Mhm.
and I eat like chocolate because chocolate is my thing. I love the chocolate, especially those with the raisins and nuts and stuff like that. Especially like a Toblerone or something like that. That's
Yeah.
great ones. So yeah, I eat something like that, and then basically next morning I always like to eat something like toasted bread with cottage cheese and the low-fat salmon, like
Mhm.
smoked salmon. Oh my
Yeah.
God, this is the best thing ever, especially if you drink a hot tea with a sweetener with that. Oh my God, that's for me the greatest post show food ever. So this is like enough for me. Yeah.
Yeah. But as I can say, every post show meal every morning, I'm doing my English breakfast. Like raw eggs, some sausages, some toasted bread, something like that. But I'm trying to do in like light version. You know, use,
Yeah.
using light cheese, light cottage as you and whole meat. The sausages like with as much meat as possible, and actually some good things. Not the cheat ones.
Yeah, you probably saw on my Instagram that I've eat like bagels every day. So
Yeah,
yeah, so I have a good variety on my diet. So this is why I am not really craving anything like that. And especially those English breakfasts, I am not a fan of because for me, example, I've eat like a 5 gram of fats daily. That's all I have in my diet. So for example, right now, I have only 10 grams of macadamia nut oil in my pre-workout meal, and this is the all fats I eat throughout the day. So I am not really used to digest a lot of fats. So for me, eating something like English breakfast will probably destroy my stomach for a day. So I
yeah.
don't like stuff like that. This is why the smoked low-fat salmon is the best for me. It has like 1 gram of fat for 100 grams, so it's perfect. Yeah, but enough of the foods because there's a lot of guys who probably still trying to compete this year. For example, me. So yeah, so eating is not on the plate right now. But the one thing that's it's so freaking amazing, and I can wrap my head around it is your shoulders. And I am not I am not gonna lie, I want to know the secrets of your shoulders.
Yeah, we actually developed them last year. My last prep, last year, and we just improve my lateral movement, and that was all. I started do my lateral raises like in when you're stepping at the basic front relax pose with those scapulas open. So, and I'm doing the lateral raises like this, like from the basic pose when you step.
Okay.
Not
So
not putting the weight all down, but posing it like here. And
constant tension.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so you are not really a guy who thinks that you have to uh, lift very heavy dumbbells for laterals and stuff like that because you saw that guys that taking like a 30, 40, 50 kilos
I
dumbbells and
think
trying to do lateral raises with them.
especially when we are talking about lateral raises, I think it's not necessary to pushing the weight too much.
What are the rep ranges you're using for your delts?
About when I do heavy set, it's about 8 reps, 8 to 10, and after this I doing about 15 to 20. You know,
Okay, so variety of the reps is always the king. And yeah, that's the basic stuffs, man. This is why it's shocking for me. I have to improve on my shoulders this year as well as on my back. So but I am probably gonna ask you a couple more questions throughout the year about your delts. And
Of course, don't forget for my like the
rear
back,
delts.
yeah, for my real doubts, because it's I think it's a big issue of most competitors. They are not developing them too much, because they're making the roundness of your vault shoulder, you know. So
Yeah.
don't forget for them.
Yeah, for me the problem is definitely the side and the front delt as well as my chest. This is the things that's lacking a lot of in my opinion on my physics. So as well as my back, as the judges says that they need to I need to bring much more details on my back, and I think this like doing a lot of more upper back's gonna help me because even you probably saw I add a video doing the lat pullovers today,
Yeah,
and I realized that my upper back is almost not existing.
you
It's
think?
shitty, yeah, it's shitty as fuck. Definitely, I need to bring him up a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying for example, when I'm doing the exercise for my real delts. I do like pull, I don't know how the call the exercise, like the rope pulls,
Oh, face pulls, yeah.
face pulls, yeah. And uh, I'm trying to use my real delts, and but sometimes I feel my upper back don't do it. I
The
just
traps.
you know so I'm using for my real delts I using a lot this exercise, for example, or the delt deck as usual, but this really helps me to make my upper back more with more density, with more thick,
Yeah,
you know
definitely it's gonna help. Yeah. Yeah, I have to focus more of my middle and upper back, I think. And my coach as well is thinking like that. So I think that we're gonna have to bring it up, but we are not actually talking about it yet because I still have my goals for this year, and we are not stopping to get in there. So yeah, okay. But tell me, please, what are the plans for your future? Because you told me that you're gonna go into your off season because you have some improvements to make. But are you planning or hitting for the certain show for the next year, or you're gonna build it yourself until you decided to try to hop on the stage?
yeah. First of all, I need to do my surgery.
Yeah,
First step for the next year. And after this, we are starting to develop my back. And if everything will goes good, well, with no injury, I want to step on stage in the end of the year. For example, do some Poland or something like that. I'm not the, I'm not sure I will do the Prague show because of some backstage issues, and I Praxo is really good because of the audience here, and it's one of the biggest show in the Europe. But I really, every time I was competing here, I really did not enjoy the backstage and everything around it. So I rather do some Poland, so Denmark or the shows around because of for me it's real. I need to enjoy whole competition.
yeah,
Backstage, the stage, and everything. And the Prague show for me, the backstage and the things around was not as good as I want. you know.
Can you explain what you mean by that? Or if you don't want it to just
Yeah,
don't say anything.
for example, this year or the year before, there was really small backstage, you know. If I can compare to Poland, for example,
Yeah.
you know, in Poland it's really good backstage, you know, and then
Yes.
and it's really strict schedule of the categories, and it's maybe if there is 20 or 30 minutes break between, but in Poland, every time there was everything on time. You know, big backstage, and everything was good. In the backstage, you have water for competitors, some sweets or some food. You know,
Yeah.
and when you ask there someone when we are going on stage or for some advices or something like that, everyone from the staff will tell you the things. You know, I didn't get it in Prague here, for example.
Yeah, you see, I don't see that just because I've only been on the pro like a time out there, and for the pros there was slightly different, probably because there was less competitors and stuff like that, because I was only when my wife's competes out there, so I have no like comparison to the Poland show. But yeah, the Robert actually in Poland doing a great job when it comes to the shows. I think that the Polish shows right now, the Poland shows right now, are one of the best when it comes to the managing the everything when it comes to the competition. Even the divided backstages are great because you have one big backstage, and then they are taking you for the smaller one, and you just go straight into on stage. So this is I think it's a great idea because first of all, you know when exactly you're gonna go on a stage. You know when to pump up. You have the time to rest your mind. You have the girls from the proton to oil you up and stuff like that. And this is like a great atmosphere out there. And yeah, Poland show for those who are watching and thinking about doing it is definitely one of the most like greatest show to do on the list when it comes
Yeah,
to the shows.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, thank you, Vojta. I think that we are briefly get through all of the basic stuffs when it comes to you, and I am really glad that you find the time, especially that it's a Sunday and it's very late. You probably have to go to the work tomorrow or something like that, and that's shitty.
I
Yeah,
I shift tomorrow, so I will have one more good sleep tonight, and
great.
my night shifts starts.
Yeah, this is great that you can sleep, but the night shifts are have to be a really struggle when it comes to being a bodybuilding because you have so very mixed like a daily routine that you probably uh, will be better to have like a structure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for those who are not following you, can find everything down below in the description box. So, do you have a YouTube channel?
I have, and I will send you my link. And this today we are finishing the my prep video from this season, so there will be soon really fresh new content
Is
on
it
my.
in English or is it in Czech?
It's in Czech, but I think the latest video we are preparing now it will be with English subtitles.
Great. I love that. I love that. Yeah. Okay. So I am gonna to have to follow you because I didn't know that you have the channel, to be honest. And I'm gonna link it up the link for your channels down below, as well as your as the links for your Instagram and for the coaching service because you probably are a coach as well. Yes.
Yeah,
So for everyone who's wanted to be coached by Vojta, You can find the all the information needed down below, and please support him through using the codes from his sponsor, as he is gonna be one of the greatest one day when it comes to the bodybuilding stage. And I know that because you are so passionate, and every time I see that you add something on Instagram, or even I follow your stories, even though most of the time I have no idea what you're talking about because it's in Czech. I like to yeah, I like to I would really love to see more of your diet and stuff like that, like your supplementations, because I think that's really great. And if you can, you can add like a maybe English names of the foods what you are eating. For example, 100 grams of green rice and stuff like that. That would be great because I would really love to know more about you, and it's really hard when it's not in English.
Yeah, I will actually do more English posts or like content in English, because my fan base is more getting more becoming from English guys or English speaking people. So I'm really planning to do more English content, for the other people, of all around the world. So not only for the Czech guys here, but you know. So
I
I definitely do post in English, more posts in English, and like stories in English and something like that. So
I am shocked that you started right now the English like a content, just because you are basically blow up a year ago a lot when like a bodybuilding without borders and stuff like and all the
yeah,
channels like that starting to share your peaks. The bodybuilding community in all world is actually was impressed as fuck. Everyone was talking about you. I was shocked that you cannot win the card from whole year. That was for me every show. I was just sitting there and asking, how is that even possible? How is that even possible? That's no freaking way.
so we'll see the next season next year.
Yeah, definitely. I know that you're gonna bring you the Vojta 2.0, and you're gonna be bigger, you're gonna be fuller, and you're gonna be even probably shreddier, just because your skin is gonna be wrapped up, your midsection is gonna be flatter, like you said, because you can divide the carbon up from the throughout the days and not eating everything at once and stuff like that. So you're probably gonna be unbeatable, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. And I'm so happy that you find the time today for me and for us actually. And as soon as I be able, I am gonna release this podcast, and I'm hope for the best for you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you again. You invite me into your podcast. Thanks everyone for that you supporting us, because it's really good. And yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, for everyone who are sticking with us to the end to this podcast, please subscribe, share, comment down below, and obviously see you again. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.